Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a warm welcome for your Masters of Ceremonies, Garrett Gwynn and L.J. Klink.
Good morning, Spokane. How y'all doing today? All right, welcome to the 2013 First Robotics Competition and this year's game, the Ultimate Ascent. It's great to see so many teams of robot fans here, and I'm as anxious as you are to see what innovating solutions the teams have designed to solve this year's demanding challenge, the pyramid climbing, frisbee throwing robots. Is this going to be awesome or what? Are you ready?
Well, I see that we have teams from Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Mexico, and of course our home state of Washington.
Let's give it up, make some noise. But before we get to the game, here's a message from First Founder and National Advisor, Dean Common and Woody Flowers.
Welcome to the Spokane First Regional.
Congratulations, you've done it again. In just 6 weeks, from a very challenging design problem to a working solution.
Now you get to have even more fun, sharing your solution, checking out what other teams have done, and hearing the roar of the crowd. We hope you realize that Ultimate Ascent is a metaphor for real life.
Life is like this first game. You have lots of unique, rich, and valuable targets to aim for. You have to pick your goals and own them. Often the goals with the greatest reward take the most time, effort, and resources.
Neither you nor your robot have to tackle the most challenging goals alone. Getting help from mentors and teammates is not restricted to First. As you go forward, find the best team and remember the lessons from First, especially about giving back to help others.
You'll face hurdles in life that seem as impossible as quickly creating a pyramid climbing frisbee throwing robot. I'm confident that your time with your FRC team will serve you well. Your success will likely be incremental, one rung at a time. By taking deliberate steps, analyzing the problems, and thinking of clever solutions, you'll make it to the top.
Why do we have First? To connect you to the best role models in the world.
To teach you how to solve impossible problems.
And to help you realize that the hard things have the greatest rewards.
First has helped you prepare for the future. You know what to do, you know how to do it, and you know how to help others along the way.
This is why we have First. And now let's have a great time with Ultimate Ascent.
I would now like to introduce the President of Eastern Washington University, Dr. Rodolfo Arevalo.
Good morning, Rocketeers! Glad to have you at Eastern Washington University. This is a very unique institution. That's why 26% of the students that graduate from this university graduate in STEM fields. So you've come to the right place at the right time. I wanted to congratulate all of you for being here, for the long trip you have taken to arrive at Eastern and at this competition. On behalf of the faculty, the students of Eastern Washington University, welcome to the institution. También quería tomar un momento para darle la bienvenida a nuestros estudiantes de México. Gracias. Just wanted to give a shout out to those students that have come the furthest. That's from Mexico. Again, we're very proud to host this event this year. We understand that the relationship between First Robotics and other universities and colleges, at least in the state of Washington, continues to grow because of our involvement. And so we're very happy to pioneer those kinds of relationships. So again, thank you all, and to get an opportunity to see the rest of the campus. Bye-bye.
I would like to now introduce the Regional Planning Committee Chair and Associate Dean of Computing and Engineering Science here at Eastern Washington University, Dr. Christian Hansen.
How's everybody doing? All right. As a regional chairman for this event, I'm supposed to come out here and say something that'll be inspiring to the teams and the mentors, but I'm going to break all the rules and instead talk about how I've been inspired by being involved with this event. So doing this for the second year now, I've really kind of changed my personal perception of what it means to be competitive, and that's what I want to talk about for a few minutes. So most people have a very different perception of what it means being in competition than what we see through this event. When you're in a competition, you either compete with someone or you compete against someone. If you're winning, somebody else has to lose, and it doesn't count unless losing really hurts, right? So this is where maybe this event is a little different. My wife and I have three children that have all been involved in sports of various kinds and levels. And some of the things I've learned about competition is like from when our kids were little and they played little league softball or junior soccer, you know, it was all about having fun, and competition wasn't really part of it. So, you know, the kids would go out there, any scoring on the field would be purely accidental, and nobody kept the score. But as we moved on through middle school and high school, things got pretty competitive, right? And like my son who played soccer, it just seemed like there were more losing teams than there were winning teams. Like when you go to a competition and there's 50 teams competing, 49 of the teams go home crying, right? Because eventually all but one team has to lose at some point. So this is really where this event is very different. So anyone who's ever been to one of these events know that this is actually very competitive. If you haven't been to one of these and you don't think it's competitive, come back on Saturday at the elimination rounds. You'll see this is very competitive. This is not Little League mentality. We don't all get ribbons. But it's not the high school mentality or the competitive soccer mentality either, where out of the 41 teams who are here, it's not true that 40 of the teams will drive home crying, right? So this is very different. The first organization, they trademarked the term co-opetition, which really boggles your mind a little bit first time you think about it. Can cooperation and competition really coexist? And FIRST has really been a prime example of demonstrating that. So, you know, think about, you know, what we saw yesterday when the teams were helping each other in the pit, and that's sort of been a characteristic of FIRST. Try to imagine what that would look like if we applied that to, say, competitive soccer. And so, say a team member comes over to the home team in their locker room and say, hey, I forgot my soccer cleats. Can I borrow a pair? And another kid goes up and says, hey, sure, man, I got a spare pair. I'll be happy to loan them to you. I've never seen that happen in competitive soccer. If it ever happened, probably both those two players would be suspended for the following week, right? So this is not how our organization worked. Now, Dean Kamen and Woody Flowers, when they founded FIRST, they really took what they knew about running successful businesses, being innovative in science and technology, and took that and applied that to a very competitive sport. You know, in business, you have to be competitive to be successful. There's no little league mentality in business. You can't have a successful business where you're just having fun. Doesn't matter what product we're making as long as we're having fun doing it, right? That doesn't work in business. So in business, you have to be competitive, but you can also cooperate. And in fact, when you look at the most successful businesses in the state of Washington, many of them are sponsors for this event here. They wouldn't have gotten where they are today if it wasn't through collaboration. You can't survive if you outcompete everyone else on the planet, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with being a second best in business. If you own the second largest software company in the world, you don't go home crying, right? So, so that's where business is a little different. So this is really why I love FIRST, the FIRST organization. I do believe, indeed, that we can be competitive and we can work together at the same time. So in closing, I would just say to all the teams, go out there, compete your hearts out, and make some new friends. And to everyone else who's here, take home a lesson that we can work together and we can make this a better world. Thank you very much.
I would now like to introduce the Market Development Manager for CenturyLink, Carrie Zimmer.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you to the judges. Thank you to the referees, the hundreds and hundreds of volunteers, and thank you to your teachers for letting this competition happen. We're proud to sponsor this. We're proud to sponsor the West Valley team up there in the corner. And we're proud to lend our support to something that's so innovative and so unique. You are the future of the telecom industry that we look for. Your innovative opportunities, your ingenuity, and the teamwork, all of that makes a difference to us. So thank you, have fun, and enjoy this. And we'll be back supporting you guys next year.
Thank you.
And now let's meet the folks in the blue shirts, our judges. To introduce them to you, please welcome the judge advisor, Kevin Reed.
Hello, first teams. How are you guys doing? You gonna behave today? Gonna misbehave tomorrow? Just wait until after the closing ceremonies, then I don't care anymore. No, just kidding. So, it is my pleasure, distinct honor, to introduce our judge panel this year. I have a very interesting statistic for you. 22 of the 24 people sitting in front of you in blue shirts were here last year. Very exciting, very exciting. And I'm gonna make fun of the other two all weekend long. But, so, what that means for you guys is they've done this before. Last year you got a little easy, they didn't know what they were doing, they were kind of wandering around scared and afraid they were going to make a bad decision. This year, no hesitation. So I expect excellent, gracious professionalism from you guys. They're going to be looking for it, they know what to do, and so when they're in your pits, give them your time. Mentors, get out of the way. Let the kids tell the story. That's what I want to hear. I love all the mentors and coaches, but we want the kids to tell the story of the judges. So that's what we want to see this weekend. And it is my pleasure to begin our introductions with Dr. Linda Bolte. Dr. Linda Bolte, there we go. Mr. Jerry Booth from GG Booth and Associates. Cal Christensen from Wagstaff. Chad Dockin from Kaufman Engineers. Miss Janet Edwards, Washington State University Extension for 4-H. Professor Ron Gentle from Eastern Washington University, right here. Chad Heimberger from Kaufman Engineers. Binger. Mr. Sam Johnson from EWU. Mr. Scott Johnson from Wagstaff. Asa J. Lawton from Itron. Mitchell Lazor from Absolute Aviation. Mr. Mark Matke from Spokane Area Workforce Development Council and Community Colleges of Spokane. Mr. Paul May, Wagstaff, and their judge coordinator put this panel together for you guys this year. Michael Navsgar from Kaufman Engineers. Mike Napine from Spokane Schools. Mr. Sean Pelfrey from Eastern Washington University. Mr. Kevin Pearson from Wagstaff. Mr. Rick Pickle from Haskin Steel Company. Casey Purcell from Itron. Kurt Sandy from WSU and Spokane Mesa. Mr. Leroy Schaefer from Wagstaff. Miss Ann Shirky from J.C. Penney. And Mr. John Thompson from Avista. And last but not least, Pat Weisbeck, who is a retired, very, very capable man. Thank you. Give me one more big round of applause for the judges. Be good today.
Judges, thank you for your time and efforts. You've got a difficult job this weekend. All right, so there's another group of people that that you'll need to get to know on the playing field. Their job is to ensure fair play, to help with play within the rules of the game, and to help all teams compete like crazy while remembering their gracious professionalism. Their rulings are final. There will be no replays. Please welcome the referees. Andrew Yeckel, head referee. David Marducci. Susan Marducci. Julia Montgomery. Beth Morsund. And last and definitely not least, Jared Gunning.
At first, safety is a priority, and to help us emphasize this, and to keep us all safe at this competition, I would like to introduce our lead safety advisor, Dan Deathridge, and the UL safety advisors, Adam Martinick, Clay Parker, Michael Janicki, and Jerry Pitts. And congratulations to Team 245, the Atom Bots, for their terrific award, winning safety animation. Let's check it
Microphone on helps. First is a volunteer-driven organization which relies on dedicated volunteers in the field at entry level for all programs. Without volunteers, we could not put this competition together today. Quite simply, without volunteer support, FIRST would not be FIRST. Volunteers, you are the success of FIRST, and every day we thank you for doing what you do. Thank you so much.
So teams, please remember this. You may have worked hard to put your robot on the field, but this event could not happen without the generous people here donating their time. Treat them with respect and be sure to thank them as much as you possibly can. Let's give them a round of applause.
Mentors and coaches are critical to the learning experience and the team's success. We realize that many of you are also mentoring teams from other FIRST programs, Junior FIRST Lego League, FIRST Lego League, and the FIRST Tech Challenge. So big thank you to all the mentor and coaches for all the dedications and efforts on behalf of all the FIRST programs. You really make a difference, and you truly do.
So FIRST will meet you wherever you are, whatever your age, ability. There's a FIRST program for you. Go to the FIRST website, usfirst.org, for more information on any of the programs. But before we set the robots into action, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Mexico.
Media vuelta, ya. Saludar, ya. Firmes, ya. Media vuelta, ya. Tierra, el acero aprestar y el bridón. Y retiembre en su centro la tierra, al sonoro. Patria tú tienes el dedo de Dios se escribió. Mas se osare un extraño enemigo profanar con sus mandas de suelo. En su patria querida del cielo, un soldado en cada hijo de Dios. Un soldado en cada hijo de Dios. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero a prestar y el rigor. Y retiemble en sus centros la tierra, al sonoro libre rumor. Y retiemble en sus centros la tierra, al sonoro libre rumor.
All right, teams, come on out and power up your robots.
As you were. One mistake there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we still have one more anthem to go for.
Oh, I apologize. I'm so excited about the game. You know, come on.
Well, I understand. But now, if you have taken a seat, please restand, or if you are standing, remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America, being performed by the Washington 1st Robotics Anthem Singers.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hey, Garrett, can I get excited now?
I think now would be a good time,
Is
man.
now a good time to tell everybody, come on out and get your robots turned on? Let's power those babies up. There's another voice you'll be hearing today. That voice is our game announcer, Brian Andrews.
Good morning, Spokane.
Reaching out.